Hi, if you're new here, I'm Kim, and this is Brown Sense. Hey, welcome and welcome back. Thanks for joining me at the design table again. As we walk through this journey of changing my life financially, today I'm going to talk through my September month review that I set up at the beginning of the month and my budget setup. So what's different this month is that I'm going to start measuring some metrics month over month. So you'll see me set up that page. I'll walk you through what I'm looking at, what my goals are to learn from that. We're also going to go through my initial budget for September. And I'm going to be cash stuffing $350 amongst my allocations as we've seen before. So let's hop into this video. So here we have my trusted composition book to get started. So I'm going to walk through how I'm monitoring my bills and my debt balances, I should say. So what I've done offline and you're looking at here is I've accessed every account that I have, be it a student loan, if it's one of my utilities, a credit card, my car payment, even my entertainment. I've gone through all of my accounts to see what I owe, ensure that my previous payments have all been made and recorded properly, and to record all of my outstanding debt balances if there is one for that account. I'll be honest with you guys, lately over the last going on 6 months, especially with the changes in my life, leaving that abusive relationship, I've had so many unexpected expenses over the last few months, and at the beginning, they just seem to be coming out of nowhere. I've had a few things that I've discovered tied to me that I really didn't know about. Recently found out about a bunch of tolls unpaid on my car. Obviously not from my using the car, that I wasn't aware of, that now, I'm calling to attempt to resolve. We'll chat more about this during the video. Let's move on to September metrics and see what I'm doing over here. All right, so moving on, you're gonna see me drawing out my September metrics here. So this is something new that I've incorporated this month to expand on a little bit of what I was doing in my bi-weekly budget. Also, this gives me another chance to practice some hand lettering. So I've shown that I monitor my credit score on a weekly basis. I also want to capture that on a monthly basis. It's literally going to be just writing it in 2 different places and evaluating it differently from a weekly aspect versus from a monthly aspect. It'll give me a record of my actions that I've taken each month plus the results. Any slight changes that happen in my credit score, any slight changes in my debt balance are great to be able to look back at, especially when you're pretty discouraged or if you feel like you've messed up and you want to go back and have a chance to correct that. What I'm also going to be doing is tracking my debt by debt class. So I'll be tracking my total debt, my debt by my credit card, debt I owe still in student loans, what I still owe from my car, and then any other debts that possibly exist. Again, guys, remember I'm learning about a lot of things I wasn't previously aware of. So I want to make sure that, especially in that other bucket, I capture anything I find out about, such as I found out about the tolls. At one point I had to pay to get my phone line back and a few other things. So I want to make sure that I keep track of those. So when I look back to see what I've done with my money, especially over this more turbulent period, I'm very clear on what I had to spend my money on. Especially as once I've cleared these things, I don't want to create new bills and create new debt. So to know, hey, I've had to pay all of this, or as you saw on the last page, I had an affirmation for myself, you had to pay out this much rather than saving, investing, or doing something you wanted to do with this money. So my goal is to be able to keep track of those changes month over month. Then again, I want to also be aware of some of the numbers in my life so that I can make wiser decisions and so that I can hit further goals. So I've gone over my four goals for this year. If you haven't seen that, check out my August budget video, which is going to be suggested right above. And I go through my 4 goals for the year. I think that yes, you should stick to having a few goals, but if you know that you're going to have different goals, every goal you have should get you closer to the next goal, right? So being aware of the numbers in my life, such as how much do I spend on variable expenses every month? How much do I spend on fixed expenses? How much are my living expenses? What amount am I paying out to debt every month? Those numbers are really important. Again, having a skeleton to fight some of my more impulsive behavior is really important to me right now, especially in this rebuilding. I can share a story with you guys. Recently, my vacuum cleaner, a piece on the vacuum cleaner has stopped working. Now, I can probably go to the manufacturer, rebuy this piece. It's the piece that actually goes across the floor. Rebuy this one piece, but somehow in my mind I'm committed to that I want a new vacuum cleaner. That definitely goes with ADHD and novelty of getting new things. I'm fully aware of what's happening. I almost bought a vacuum cleaner. I did really good. I didn't. But it is an impulse that's there. So what I'm going to try to do instead, I'm going to try to use my mom's older vacuum, save a few dimes. And I'm going to plan and put into my budget that I really want a new vacuum. I'll drop it on the impulse list and get that up there, because I'm seeing that sometimes I have impulses for things that I technically need or could use or fall into some type of semi-essential, but there's a frugality way of dealing with it bucket. And I want to really try to capture and monitor those things. So that's the purpose of having notes. That's the purpose of tracking all of these expenses and thinking of this. Because if I'm looking and saying, my fixed expenses are this, my living expenses are this, and I'm paying this much out to debt every month, do I have the money to buy that vacuum cleaner today? Will I have the money to buy that vacuum cleaner in the future? Can I wait for will I and make a way through dealing with that impulse until I can put myself in a position? I don't want to increase my amount paid to debt. Buying a vacuum cleaner prematurely will do that. So these numbers are to help me fight impulses and be able to think through a little bit what I'm doing. I have like a 5-second span to stop myself from doing things and taking a chance to think about them. So I really want to make those 5 seconds as impactful as I possibly can. Then guys, at the bottom, you're seeing my savings balance. This is not my full savings balance. This does not include like my growth to my net worth. I have my retirement accounts from, my corporate life. I have savings that I don't touch or acknowledge. I guess in theory, I do have some emergency savings, but some of these things are more investment driven, and I don't want the tax implications or just to deal with the taxes of selling things out. So right now, what I'm including when I look at my savings balance is pure uninvested cash. This does not include anything that will grow quickly without more input, like there's no interest behind it type of growing quickly. And that is because in this case, I'm really monitoring my cash, and I'm trying to get my cash flow in life back on track so that I can get rid of my debt, so that I can put more of my money into myself, into investing, and into saving. And lastly, my last note on just being in control of my money would be, again, going back to financial abuse, being in a relationship with a narcissist. Sorry guys, hopefully this will help someone who's been in this position, because I found it's very hard for me to find someone who's looking at it from this perspective to sort of give some guidance to. Myself personally, and I feel like many others have experienced this as well, when you're in a relationship with someone like a narcissist, either they've controlled the money by having more money than you, or they have tried to control your money that they don't even, generate, don't work, and don't create. I experienced the latter. it was always a complaint when I spent my money on things for me, like, oh, so now you don't have money for this or for that or for me or for something I want. I've had control. I felt like I've had control of my money, only to find out I really didn't. Okay, so now to actually set up the bi-weekly budget. So I'm going to title this bi-weekly budget. I'm going to drop my calendar in and highlight the days that are covered by this particular paycheck. My income this month, my income for this bi-weekly period will be $1,750, and I will also have matching expenses of $1,750. Those expenses do include my savings, so they're not real expenses in all cases. I recorded a space for my debt, my credit score, my debt balance, and my current savings. So I have a little bit of an amendment here on this page. So on my first message page, I only recorded $130. I was just thinking about the money that I put into my $1,000 emergency, and then also in the opening sinking funds, you guys saw that I started a savings challenge in which I saved $100 to start, but I forgot that I also have Digit running on my account. So I treat Digit as a bill from my future self to my present self. Whereas the money that is saved is to help my future self offset anything that past and present me do. So I added that balance of $121.78 in. That was my balance in Digit as of August 30th. So that gives me a total cash savings of $251.78. So now from the September list that we've looked at previously, I'm populating this list. My tithe, the student loans that are coming out, any credit cards, things related to my car, utilities, and I attempt to group these things. It also makes it easier. So towards the end, I group how much I'm paying in student loans for this period, how much I'm paying from credit cards payments for this period, any payments that I have to make. So in this case, I told you guys I had sort of an impulse buy. I got some blue light glasses. I do at least need them, looking at my phone and my computer as much as I do now. But that resulted in an afterpay bill that's coming up. And then I'm going to end the bottom with my envelopes. So one thing I will say is I totally forgot. I did forget to subtract rent. So that's actually not in order, and that is going to get stuffed into my sinking fund. I will show that in another video because I totally forgot about it. I didn't take the money out of the bank to put away to the side. So totally forgot rent. My rent is not $300 a month. This is just under half of my rent for the entire month that's getting put away to be paid out to my family, since I live in a family property. I don't think that there's anything else to call out. I sit here and what I try to do is I will calculate how much I'm saving. So in this case, for this first bi-weekly period, I'm not going to save out of this one. I will be saving out of the next one. So you'll see more of the money towards the emergency account and the savings challenge. We'll stuff that next week. But what I do is once I have all my bills, and this is not ideal, eventually what I would like to do is take out my savings and then figure out what I'm going to pay. But for right now, because I'm trying to get ahead, I have all my bills listed first immediately after my tithe. Then I figure out, based on what I have, what envelopes need money and how much I'm going to allocate to them. I actually found that I was short $1, so at the end I added $1 to eating out because, again, no one needs to not eat out more than me. So only $1 there. I also deleted Uber Eats off of my phone. It's been 2 weeks, y'all. We're going strong so far. 2 weeks. Okay. So I decided to add $50 to the miscellaneous envelope because I'm seeing that I have some legitimate impulses of things that I need, but I forget about, so I don't allocate the money. But then I'm like, I really need this, so I just go out and buy it. So I decided to put $50 away for anything that comes up in this 2-week period. And if something doesn't, that's perfect. I will leave that money there because it's coming. Like the vacuum, it's coming. Again, putting $100 away for Ellie for her upcoming vet visit. I didn't spend that much in gas this past month, so I'm just gonna add $50. Or I didn't spend that much money from my last cash stuffing when it came to gas. So I'm just going to add $50. I'm going to add more money to myself because I have an upcoming trip to Canada coming up in the beginning of October, and maybe I'll drop a vlog for you guys on that trip. So I want to put some money away a little bit earlier and sooner, so I have some spending money that I can just spend as I feel. And then again, I share groceries, so my grocery bill will only be $75 this pay period. So I just want to add a note here, guys. So for me, I just mentioned the shame-based framework that personal finance and debt-free seems to operate on at times. Yes, time is very much a factor, getting getting out of debt as fast as you possibly can, investing as much as you can, growing wealth, putting that away to create generational wealth, extreme frugality in some cases, or just being frugal. I mean, everyone has a series of things they can and cannot live without. I just want to make a note. In no way am I saying that this is not something that you should aim for. It's not something that should be a goal. I am saying that my goal is to not only honor what's happening in my life, but I would love to be able to learn and share with others on how to be your own source of empathy. For me, having ADHD, those extreme levels of managing your finances work very heavily against me in the ADHD motivation bridge. It is not encouragement for me, others like me, or even just other people in general. That's not always encouragement that you should have done it yesterday, I fight impulses all the time. To completely cut everything out, I've tried that. It leads to disaster because what it leads to is me spending every dime that I possibly can. It's better for me to sort of take a slower approach and leave space to buy, to shop, to do things impulsively, to go, to experience, in order to avoid disaster. I used to say that YOLO single-handedly ruined my life. Not knowing how to manage my ADHD is what single-handedly ruined my life, honestly. Seeing, trying, failing has shown me that early retirement might not be for me. I like doing things. And right now, guys, I'm really enjoying creating. Enjoying that this new path I'm on involves a lot of creation. It involves a lot of creativity, and it is hard work. Extreme frugality is not going to work for me. But what I am learning to do is how to save money, how to not always buy the most expensive thing, to wait for a sale, to save, to plan to buy things and translate my impulses into different behaviors where I honor the fact that I really feel like I need this or the novelty is there, but at the same time respect the fact that I do have other goals and that this is something I'm trying to work with. In order to, again, improve my financial status. All the little things that you owe matter. I feel like sometimes we pick and choose what we want to pay. And a lot of that times that comes from an emotional response. You didn't expect the bill. You weren't prepared for it. You don't want to pay it. And you will yourself into forgetting about it. I hope that this list, well, the goal of this list is to stop me from doing those things, to make notes about new things that I'm finding out. If I have to call any of my creditors or reach out to anyone, I'll make notes on this page so that each month I can remember what's changed or any time that I reached out to someone for some help. I also use this sheet to populate my budget and to ensure that the information that I have in the budget, what I think I'm paying, is the most accurate information that's available for that month. Also, you'll see in the corner that I have a few purple Post-its. I've begun leaving myself some mindset and affirmation notes, especially as I go through my month closeout when I completed this list. Just like keep making choices that result in living off of this money and not giving it away. I'm trying very hard to fight the shame network that seems to exist within the debt-free community. I really want to focus on rebuilding, being emotionally intelligent, and honoring myself, my feelings, and my impulses. A lot of times when you have messed up, or if you're trying to rebuild, it seems like a lot of the advice comes with shame. You should have never done that. This shouldn't have happened to you. Now you've put yourself in this position. But at the same time, we're all still human. And all of this rebuilding and changing your life financially will come along with shifting your mindset, being kind to yourself, building in affirmations that let you know that you can do this. You can have a healthy relationship with money. You can create a skeleton that will allow you to freely live. A budget is not a constraint. It's really a freedom plan on what to focus on and what not to focus on. And I found that it has really made it easier to consider what I'm doing. I had a few impulses that I had to fight recently. All right, y'all, now that we're done with the budget, let's move into the golden pineapple and get that stuffed. So I have some money that I found at the bottom of my purse. I'm going to drop that into the golden pineapple. Also, I just wanted to show you guys here. So you see this great silver envelope, this rainy day fund. So I was cleaning up my apartment, totally forgot that I had this. I had put it away. At one time, it was a place to store extra money in the house in case of an emergency rather than the pineapple. So what I did was I pulled the $30 that you guys saw me put in the pineapple last bi-weekly pay period, and I put it in this envelope. So this envelope, or this pouch I should say, is going to be where I keep my $1,000 and for my emergency fund. And then what I'll do is when I hit that $1,000 and I go to put the money in the bank to save it, I will put the deposit slip and I will probably do a bill exchange at that point, put in a bill representing that $1,000, and then continue to use that envelope rather than leaving the money in the house and then again becoming tempted to actually just impulsively spend it because it's right there. And I don't want it stolen. I mean, no one's in here, but I also don't want it stolen. I think that's really important. You guys know any random money that does not make it back into an envelope, any change that just ends up in the bottom of my purse, goes into the golden pineapple. And then this is just, I guess let's call it impulse money. This is impulse money. If I have an impulse and I really am struggling getting through it, I will come here and I'll take the money out of this golden pineapple. The greatest thing is I don't know what's in the golden pineapple, so maybe I can't fulfill an impulse. So we just need to relax and leave that alone. Yes. So let's stuff the golden pineapple and then we're going to get on to some cash stuffing. So let's move into stuffing some cash envelopes. I've got my composition book open. I'm going to lay out the cash here in front of you. And I'll use my composition book to keep track of how much I've allocated to each account. Let's get the money out. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that I need a tray to put the cash away? Yeah, some extreme teller counting skills going on here. Check out the ASMR video if you want to actually hear counting cash, if that soothes you in some way. Feel free to check that out. But I'm wondering if I need a cash tray. I haven't had a cash tray since I worked in a bank. But just recounting the money because I like counting money. It's soothing. I would count like large amounts of money. It was just so soothing. Um, so getting the money out on the table, we'll get the envelope stuffed. So I'm gonna just check this envelope. So I put in $7 last pay period. I said I didn't really need much. I didn't spend that $7, so I'm actually going to leave it in there because again, I am going away, so that's perfectly good spending money. And I'm going to add $75 into my envelopes. Now, what I forgot to do was I didn't go get fives. I didn't even think about getting fives. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to owe myself $5 from another envelope. And when I make change, I will drop that $5 into this envelope since it's short 5 and one envelope will be over 5. I'll fix it in the end. These are things that I guess I feel I can get away with since I was previously an accountant. Also, I'll make notes in my ledgers. As you see, I have like what I'm spending my money on and what I'm doing in doing that. So now I saw I was short $1 again because I didn't get small bills. I'm just gonna grab $1 out of the golden pineapple. That's what it's there for, and stuff it and eating, and eventually I'll recoup my $1 in that golden pineapple. For groceries, I'm gonna add $75. Now again, because I am short $5, my $5, and this is a category most likely to get spent the soonest, I will pull $5 out of this when I have change, and I will drop that $5 into my me category, and then everything will be chewed up from there. I'm also going to make a note on my ledger that I owe myself $5 out of this envelope, and it should go into the me envelope. And then I'm going to move into the me envelope and make a note that that envelope is owed $5. I'll also make notes when I finally make some change so that I can just show the transfer between the two envelopes as well. All right, so I still have some money left from gas. I will leave that there and just allow my gas envelope to get kind of full right now. It's never bad to have gas money for yourself, especially with prices going crazy right now, especially in the Northeast. It's just utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. So now I'm going to stuff $50 in my miscellaneous folder just for anything that comes up. I'm seeing that I'm under budgeting in some places. I'm playing it a little bit small. Maybe I have the mindset of still of, I can't spend that, or I shouldn't spend this, or I need to under account for my needs because I have so much and I don't know how to deal with having so many impulses and monitoring what I do and do not need. Therefore, I'm just going to add the $50 into this envelope for anything I actually functionally can use, like blue light glasses because I'm getting headaches again, and have that money there to accommodate those purchases. So that's what I'm going to do in miscellaneous. I'm not going to lie, sometimes I don't know what to do in miscellaneous, but that seems like a pretty good use of it for me right now. And then lastly, the rest of the funds will equal out $100. You see me counting that out here. That's going to go in Ellie's envelope because she has an upcoming vet appointment. She's 6 years old. They do blood work now. Her appointments used to be really reasonable. And now they're getting a little bit more expensive. I'm not complaining just because I really like her vet, and honestly, they don't overcharge. I'm not even going to lie. I've had conversations with other pet owners. Her vet is great. The doctors are great. She likes the doctors. She just wants to leave. She doesn't want to stay. But, price-wise, doctor-wise, I'm very pleased. So I just want to have this money put away to the side. All right, thanks guys for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think. How is my editing? Is this helping you? Is this not helping you? Is there something that you would love to see? I would love to hear about it, guys. Thanks for spending this time with me, and I'll see you in the next video in a few days. Bye, guys. Have a good day.